What's up, Internet? This is Rambling Josh, and you're watching another episode of Let's Play Pokemon Red. Last time, we got ourselves HM Cut and defeated Lieutenant Surge. And today, we are on our way to the Rock Tunnel. But before we do that, we have a whole bunch of trainers that we have to take out first. So, let's get on that. My biggest priority at this point in time, as I mentioned previously, well, on the previous episode, I suppose, is to level up my Drowsy a little bit. At this point, he's not quite high enough level to really hold his own in any way, so we have to kind of remedy that. Psychic-type Pokemon are extremely powerful, but my Drowsy doesn't actually know any Psychic-type attacks yet, so that's kind of problematic. And I would really like to use Drowsy against these guys because I'm pretty sure both Oddish and Bellsprout are part poison type, which would make them weak to Psychic, but I just can't. I mean, I don't know. Drowsy does know Body Slam, so there's a possibility that he would be able to take them out, but I would rather not take the chance. Plus, I guess Charmeleon could use a little bit of experience as well. He's pretty close to bleh. Words are apparently not my biggest friend this day. Charmeleon is pretty close to level 36, which, as I mentioned in the past, is the level that he evolves at. Now that I'm done with Lieutenant Surge in the Electric-type gym, I don't really care if Charmeleon obtains a second flying type. Like, a second type, and that type would be flying. If you catch my drift. It's not a big deal anymore if he's weak to electricity. Although I guess being weak to being fire flying would make him very weak against rock types. But it is what it is. Unfortunately, being such a high level against enemies that are almost half your level, leveling up is a fairly slow process. Especially when you're constantly switching Pokemon and so forth. These guys really aren't doing a whole lot, are they? The Bellsprouts keep using Growth, which all that does is raise your special stat. Which can be handy if you actually follow it up with an attack that, does damage, but it's not so useful if you just die. So, use one of my handy-dandy antidotes. And it's on to the next fight. Who is this dude? He didn't laugh that many times. I don't think he did. And another Pokemon that I would love to use Psychic-type attacks against, because fighting types are weak against Psychic-type attacks. But I do not know any of those, so I shall continue to use Slash because, well, Ember is a really weak attack. That's one of the biggest downsides, honestly, to Charmander, Charmeleon, and all. It's a line of Pokemon that's very weak, not weak, but lacking in Fire-type attacks, despite being Fire-type. I don't think they learn the next one, Flamethrower, until, I want to say, mid-level 40s. Which is problematic, but it's not a huge deal. In the long term, it all works up fine, so yeah. And that was an example of the onification that is Bubble Beam. Here we find TM30. TM30 contains Teleport, which is rather useless, honestly. I mean, it can be useful, it teleports you back to the last Poke Center that you were at, which has its uses, but I kind of tend to prefer, abilities that do damage. Like, say, Dig, which happens to also teleport you to the last Pokemon Center you were at. The only difference being, of course, that you can only use Dig inside of a cave or some such. Well, I wasn't expecting that. I mean, I would have preferred just kill him myself. That's a lot more damage than he would have done otherwise. Oh well, Drowsy's coming along decently anyways. Or at least not decently so much as at a decent rate. Luckily, I have enough Pokemon at this point that if one of them gets cheaply killed, then it's not the end of the world. That is probably... I really cannot talk today, like, at all. I was trying to say that Rock Throw is probably going to be super effective because Gyarados is part Flying type. Now then, my handy-dandy strategy guide informs me that Drowsy learns Confusion at level 17. So, before long, he should at least be able to kill certain types of Pokemon. Like this Caterpie! Actually, if I'm totally honest, I could probably wipe the floor with this thing right now. Caterpie is rather pathetic. Okay, maybe not wipe the floor so much as have a slight advantage over. If I really wanted to be serious about this, I would probably try and use Hypnosis against it. Because of course, a enemy who is asleep is going to do a lot less damage to you. Weedle! Actually, I am going to change Pokemon. I would just take on Weedle, but, actually no. I was thinking that for some reason Weedle's Poison Sting was Bug type, which obviously it's Poison type, not Bug type. The reason I therefore switched is because one of the few things that Psychic type Pokemon are weak against in Generation 1 is Bug type attacks. Which, obviously, if Caterpie took Drowsy down to half health and a Weedle who was capable of doing super effective damage against me would probably kill me pretty good. But I was obviously mistaken, and I ended up just kind of messing up this whole fight entirely. Drowsy got cheaped out of experience on the Weedle. Gyarados got poisoned and got dead. It's all rather unfortunate. But what are you gonna do? That's what happens when you're trying to talk and play at the same time. Oh, hello there! I didn't expect you to be here. That's a lie. I knew you were here. Actually, I didn't. But, yeah, whatever. I knew there were trainers in the area. I didn't know this guy specifically was standing in that exact spot. So, I guess I'm gonna stick to Charmeleon as my bruiser at the moment, if you will. Unfortunately, Slash does not have as many uses as I would like. Less than half of what Scratch has. Actually, no, that's not true at all. Scratch has 35 uses, Slash has 20. It's more than half. Curse you, Math! Why must you fail me? One more level to go, until Drowsy can be moderately useful. Ouchie! Your claws, they barely pierced my red dragon-like skin. Because Charmeleon's like a fire lizard thing. He's like a pretend dragon. Or at least Charizard's a lot like a pretend dragon. Charmeleon's more just a fire lizard. I don't know. Can it be considered a dragon if it doesn't have wings? 'Cause that's really, well, not the only difference between Charmeleon and Charizard, but it's the biggest one. You'll see soon enough. Actually, you will also see if you look like 2 inches to your left, because there's a giant Charizard on the left side of the screen. Anyway, this guy is almost dead. Charmeleon's taking a little bit of a beating, but that's what tends to happen when you're switching Pokemon. These guys are still very low level. Then again, when it comes to just random trainers, I don't think that ever really changes. Huh. Could have sworn I had a way of getting over here. Ha ha! I did indeed. Me? I guess? I don't know. That's a little creepy. Pokemon games are really good at making slightly creepy statements like that. I would really love Gyarados to still be alive right now. But whatever. Gyarados shall have plenty of opportunities to get all the experience in the world. Doesn't necessarily need to be right now. Charmeleon can kill them in one hit anyways. Oh, Charmander, huh? This guy is serious. So serious, he leveled his Charmander up 5 times without evolving. I guess he just really hates that B button. Have I mentioned it? I don't know. I don't think I mentioned it, but if you press I'm pretty sure it's just the B button. While a Pokemon is evolving, you'll actually cancel the evolution. That's something you have the power to do. Bong. Drowsy forgot pound and Drowsy learned confusion. Huzzah! Yay, Drowsy's almost considered useful now. He's still pretty low level, and he's at like half health right now, so it's probably going to be a little while before he can actually hold his own, but it is what it is. Beedrill? Oh my god! Well, Beedrill is part poison type. I shall give it a try. Ooh. Okay, no. Fury... Yeah, Fury... I was originally thinking, oh my god, is that a poison or a bug type attack? It's not. He just got an extremely unfortunate critical hit, which means that every single part of the attack is also a critical hit. So that's extremely rare, extremely powerful in certain situations anyways. It's also extremely unfortunate. Considering Drowsy could probably kill this Beedrill, and it's worth 600 experience. But oh well. Charmeleon needs the experience as well. These things happen. What? And we're back at the beginning. We could just keep going, but I think I'll pay a quick visit back to the Pokemon Center to revive my fainted weaklings. Okay, well, I guess Gyarados isn't technically a weakling so much as he got unlucky, but whatever. Technicalities. Indeed I am, good sir. Was that sarcasm? I do not appreciate the insinuation. I do not know why I am speaking like this. I shall halt doing that post-haste. Yes. And then Gyarados will kill you with his bubble beam. See all the bubbles? They form a line and hence a beam. That is why it's called Bubble Beam. And I didn't actually stop talking like that, so I will do that now. I don't know what it is today, I'm just feeling extremely obnoxious. Wow. That was a pretty good first confusion there, Drowsy. Welcome to the family. No, let's keep Drowsy out for now. He still needs all the help he can get leveling up. He may be able to kill, like, Pokemon that are weak against psychic attacks, but I wouldn't consider him capable of holding his own quite yet. My, that's quite a pixelated beard you have there, Mr. Hiker. I'm doing it again. I'm so sorry. Not really. Junior Trainer. Meowth! Oh no! Meowth are actually not even available in this game. Like, you can get them in Pokemon Blue, but I don't think you can get Meowth in Pokemon Yellow either. There's a certain, like, cross-section. I think there's something like 22 Pokemon that are available in Red that aren't available in Blue, and vice versa. And I believe that Yellow contains about half of each of those. So there's about 11 Pokemon that you can't get if you have Red and Yellow or if you have Blue and Yellow. And I believe Meowth is one of those Pokemon that is only available in Blue. If that made any sense whatsoever, which may or may not be the case. There's also a possibility that you simply do not care. So, there's this area of water here that is of interest to us. Not now, but it shall be later, well, much later. And there's a Pokemon Center here as well. But before I go in there, let us face this trainer. Because it doesn't make much sense to go to the Pokemon Center and then face her. Hello, Junior Trainer female. Let us see what you have in store for us this day. A Pikachu, is it? Then I shall send forth Dugtrio, because Gyarados is extremely weak against electricity. Aha! Your thunder attacks have no effect against my bald, groundy Pokemon. Yes. I don't know why I went to bald. Dugtrios are just extremely shiny. Clefairy? Oh my. There's only one thing to do about Clefairy. Clearly, we must hypnotize it. Quickly, put it to sleep before it can put us to sleep. And now we shall make it very confused while it is asleep. I do not know how that works, but it does. Yes. Continue being asleep. Hypnosis works a lot better when you're faster than your opponent, because that way, if you know that you know ahead of time whether the Pokemon is going to break out of sleep. Like, it breaks out of sleep after you've taken your turn, so you can choose to put it back to sleep on your next turn. Whereas if it was faster than you, it would wake up and your attack would already have been input for that turn. And then if you try to put it to sleep next turn, it would still have a turn before you, so then, yeah. Hopefully that made sense. Anyways, now that that is all done, we arrive in the Rock Tunnel, which is extremely dark and scary, so I'm going to not do it today and do it tomorrow.